OlliOlli2 is out right now, and that line should be enough to send the die-hard fans of the original game running to the PlayStation Store, because the only way to get good in OlliOlli games is to play, and play some more. If you weren't the type of person to fight through the failure of constant bails in the original game to find sweet success, then you won't know that OlliOlli was, and still is, a very tightly designed, frustrating and fun side-on skateboarding game. For me, the biggest failure of the first game was that it didn't grip me as something that I wanted to pick up and play very often. The sequel, however, welcomes us to Olliwood in a grand style, with plenty more ways to play, a few extra lines to run, and a slew of new moves to master. The greatest additions are the tricks which allow larger combos, manuals, reverts and grind switches. Together they make the community's high scores even more ridiculous, and every speedily approaching obstacle can be tackled in many different ways. Needless to say, this alone is a reason to go back and replay a level, because you know there are different ways to improve and get a more rewarding run. Levels feel longer than what you would expect from most mobile titles, and of course they are, because Welcome to Olliwood is available on both the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4. Having played both versions, I can say that the game felt more at home on the Vita, especially with headphones plugged in to properly appreciate the fresh as daisies soundtrack that the game presents to you. The levels contain multiple paths to follow, and some fantastic design incorporating more rails than you can throw a town planner at, thanks to the film studio setting. Robo Future, Wild West and Ancient Aztecs are just half of the fun and stylish environments that OlliOlli2 boasts, each feeling very unique and much higher concept than anything in the first game. Features like skate spots and the daily grind have returned, and require greater skill than before to even get close to competing. But if you don't want to spend your game time chasing the top tier score leaders, local co-op for up to 4 players is included to allow you to humiliate your friends by pulling off sick tricks that you've spent hours secretly perfecting. The game's design is much slicker than before, trading the old, rough and retro inspired feeling for something a little more current gen. The UI is very intuitive. For example, without ever having to peel your eyes off your line, you know how well you managed your last trick and have a good idea of what you will need to do in the immediate half a second or so. All of this praise aside, I must warn newcomers that failure is constant, especially at the beginning, where you might not be able to tell that you're getting slowly better. But it does happen, and it is a very difficult, almost natural progression, much like actual skating. One of the only retro-style elements that carried over from the first game is that the levels have no checkpoints. You screw up, then you start again, albeit with the achieved challenges still thankfully marked as such. Compared to other handheld games, OlliOlli2 Welcome to Olliwood is one of the greatest reaction-based titles on offer, earning a solid 7 out of 8 in any genre that it can skate into. The console offering is nice to have, as the game will reach a wider audience, but compared to other console games it just feels a little too much like it was designed to be played on a mobile device, despite still being very fun. There is no reason for fans of the original game to miss this one. It is better in every way. Graphical style, game design, soundtrack and a little more content. If you haven't played an OlliOlli game and don't mind learning, then the skate park and tutorial messages are very helpful in getting you on your feet and keeping those feet on a board. Thanks for watching this review. It's been another review from the Kilobits. My name is Petey, and you can find me making videos, or doing reviews much like this one. So please leave a thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it, and you can click the subscribe button to catch more of the Kilobits content. There's a whole gamut of things that we do within a week, so it's best to do that. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/thekilobits, and Twitter, twitter.com/thekilobits.